Oh, are we not on?
No, I think, no, he was waiting for us.
Oh.
We're good.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Library Board of Trustees for today, Tuesday, October 21st, 2025 at 6 p.m. And can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Oh, I guess I can bang this.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You good?
My knee,
Uh-oh.
but that's just, we'll be fine, thanks.
And Chayla, can we get a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Trustee Trunco,
Present.
Vice President Lex.
Present.
And President Goodman.
Present.
We have 4 members currently, as one has stepped down, and Trustee Powell is not present.
And can I get a motion for the approval of the agenda for today's meeting, October 21st, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor? Say
Aye.
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 Aye. Did we second it? Maybe I just didn't hear that. Oh,
Jador did,
that's
yeah.
very quick. And an approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of July 15th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 And moving right along to the presentations, our next item is the report from the Daly City Public Library Associates, AKA DCPLA.
Thank you. We have Director Bernie Vidal.
Oh, great.
Good evening, trustees. Pleasure to be reacquainted with Dr. Lex and to make new acquaintances with Ms. Goldman and Trustee Tronco. I'm glad to meet you. I was a superintendent of the Jefferson Elementary School District for many years, 13 years, I think. And while I served as superintendent and in my retirement, I've come back to the Daly City Public Library Associates. I believe in the mission of the organization and the value that it adds to our libraries. Just want to give you a brief update on what DCPLA has been up to. DCPLA recently received a grant of $15,000 from Genentech to fund the library's project. The library's project named Encouraging Early Literacy, Revitalizing the Library Children's Room. The children's area at the Serramonte branch faces several unmet needs that hinder its ability to effectively serve the families who wish to use it. Many families in Daly City rely on the library for free, safe spaces where children can learn and play. Over the years, the children's area has become outdated, and the area does not have modern features or interactive learning elements that are needed in early childhood spaces. So the goal of these funds is to help create a welcoming space that helps children and families spend more time learning and reading in the Serramonte Library. By modernizing the space with new furniture and interactive elements, the hope is that the byproduct will be encouraging early literacy and a lifelong love of reading. DCPLA continues to be out in the community, organizing events and being present. We feel like that's an important role that we can play to connect with the community and build up support and interest in the libraries. In September, was it September or is it October? I forget. With September, we had the Art and Literature Fest at Serramonte Mall. It was very well attended. We raised over $9,500 in sponsorships from community businesses. We had already received a grant of $15,000 to help support this event. and to contract with a community specialist that helped us with marketing and getting our message out, all in support of the Daly City Public Libraries. We have, as always, we had a very positive response from both participants who enjoyed sharing their wares and their art with the community, as well as community members who came by to observe and watch the event unfold on the stage. And if you want to see more directors of the Daly City Public Library, we're going to be present at the Daly City's Trunk or Treat coming here. It's this weekend, I believe. Yeah. So I won't be able to be there, but you'll for sure see, I think, our president and our executive director. They'd love to see you. Thank you.
Do we have any comments or questions?
Well, as usual, I'd just like to thank DCPLA for the work that they do in the community. Their grant-seeking activity is exemplified by the 2 grants that you mentioned tonight, Bernie. And to thank you personally for continuing your role in the community as an educator, only now through the libraries rather than the public school system. We really appreciate your continued civic engagement, and you really add value to DCPLA. Thank you.
Thank you. Great.
All yours if you have anything.
I have no comments, but thank you.
I had one quick question for you with the Genentech funds that came in. Was that stipulated towards specifically Serramonte, or was that chosen as a location due to maybe it needing more help, I guess you could say?
Usually and Sheila can sort of get into the background around why Serramonte was selected, but usually when we write grants, we have to write it for a specific purpose, a specific project. And in consultation with library staff, DCPLA selected this particular project and wrote the grant in support of that project.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's really awesome. Again, thank you so much.
Yeah, and I think, the Bayshore Library had recently had their children's area that was revitalized. I want to say recently, but it might have been almost 10 years ago. And I know we had a space over at the Westlake Library revitalized. That was certainly at least 10 years ago. So,
That's great.
yeah, so it was due. Plus, the improvements being made to the building probably heightened the need for some improvements to be made in the children's area as well.
Well, again, thank you for everything and great to meet
Yeah,
you.
no, it's great to meet all of you and good to see Bill again. Yeah, we all act from our respective places of power and influence. and we, hopefully, all of us here at least, act and advocating for more support for the libraries. So anything that we can do to, I was thinking, do we want fully funded libraries? Yes, but we want adequately funded first,
Yeah.
and then fully funded after that. So advocating for that end and that purpose is why we do what we do. Thank you.
And do we have a public comment or anything?
There were no public comments submitted through the website, and there don't appear to be any
Yeah,
public
it's a little
speakers.
empty in here. And moving right along to our next item, the director's report, behavior policy draft revisions.
Thank you very much. So I think I mentioned this at our last meeting, but the branch managers had asked for some, they'd actually asked for some smaller revisions and suggested some smaller revisions to our policy, which hadn't been updated in quite a while. And so what's attached to your packet is is our current policy with the changes tracked on, so you can see. There was a couple of just very basic things like updating Director of Library and Recreation Services to Library Director, since we'd made that administrative change. What actually prompted this was the very first change that you'll see, which is about bringing bicycles, skates, skateboards, and other wheeled conveyances into the library. Somebody had brought in a shopping cart, and it wasn't actually technically blocking anything, but it was affecting other users of the space. And so the managers to them, this is an important tool that they're able to use to communicate with patrons. This is not about the individual. This is about behaviors, and so we want to be able to welcome everyone. And the important thing is that everyone's adhering to the behavior, avoiding the restricted behaviors and making the space usable by all. And so the wheeled conveyances were kind of expanded as they had requested that to be. And you'll see, I also went ahead and expanded just on the subject of pets because that comes up fairly frequently. Yeah. And I like this wording a little bit better, just sort of clarifying, this is about the Americans with Disability Act. And then you'll see a couple of other things, including a little bit more about where we might make an exception to eating, because we do occasionally have a program where there may be food involved. I think Trustee Trunco attended our Lhasa and Legacy docuseries screening, and it's a docuseries about Filipino activism, Filipino American activism, and food and how that kind of comes together in the culture. And so it was really appropriate to have food. So we wanted to make sure to call out that exception. I think we expanded. We do have a unattended child policy separate from this, but wanted to also clarify that if there were people of other age that required supervision, we wanted to include them. We asked that people not rearrange furniture just because that makes it difficult. It is also hard on the furniture when it gets dragged around. And then it doesn't come up often, but it does periodically come up where somebody might be reluctant to leave at closing, and obviously that creates issues for us, so we wanted to clarify that. And then finally, I hate to bring it up, but things that happen in the restroom that are not appropriate for the restroom needed to be called out, as well as verbal communication or nonverbal attention that's experienced by people as harassment. We really wanted to make sure that that's not something that we communicate, that that's not something that we can permit in the library. And so having this policy allows the managers to address the behaviors and show that this is not about the individual. As I said, this is about the behavior, and this applies to everyone equally. So I would welcome any input you have, or if you've caught anything that you feel like could be worded more clearly.
I had two comments. One about the wheeled conveyances. I'm not sure. Obviously, we're not San Francisco. The homeless problem probably isn't there, but I don't know if it's come up with people with shopping carts that come to the library. And a lot of times, I know SF specifically, people come in with everything, although it seems like in SF maybe they even to curb that. But is that something that's been considered? Has that ever been an issue?
That has been an issue, and in fact, that's what prompted
That's
the
what I
initial
thought.
thing.
So do we have a place, because for some people that fear is right, that your stuff will be stolen, and I volunteer with the homeless community, so I empathize to a bit. I get this. It's your only attachment. Do we have like a safe place for people to put something like that, whether even it's in the front of the library, that it wouldn't create a more agitated state for somebody who maybe...
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from. We do not, unfortunately, because once it's in the library,
Yeah.
Our libraries are not so spacious that we have empty areas that we could use for that storage. And I hope it doesn't deter people, but I understand that they do want to be able to keep an eye on their belongings.
And then I guess my other question was, and maybe this is incorporated under the ADA, because I'm not that familiar with it, but does that include emotional support animals?
So that the ADA is specifically that emotional support is separate from that.
So then emotional support animals would not be permitted into the library?
No.
And is there a format or a way that, I know this is coming up everywhere, as you mentioned, whether it's schools, you go to the grocery store, and the question everybody wants to know is because obviously we can't ask anymore, and not all disabilities are seen.
True.
And so the question is there a way to, I don't know if you can politely ask someone if they, I mean, I think you need papers for emotional support animals versus the others, but I don't know if this has ever become an issue where if somebody was asked to leave, they said,
It does come up. There are specific questions that you are permitted to ask and questions you're not permitted to ask.
That's what I thought.
And so the staff are trained on that. And the idea is that the exemption is for animals that are providing a service, a specific service for an individual with a disability.
got it. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions, comments, thoughts, musings?
I was gonna say, in regards to the service animal one, are there like signs already posted up?
You know what? I don't think that we do. We have so many signs.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we do actually have signs specifying that, that animals are not permitted, but it is something we could do. It's not something that comes up that frequently, but it does come up.
All right.
Especially, the ceremony library is in a park.
My only question has to do with the last item under the forbidden list, verbal and nonverbal, verbal communication, nonverbal attention that is willful. To me, the word malicious is, very open to interpretation. And I was wondering if something, of course, my suggestion is not going to be any better, actually, but inappropriate or unwanted or unwelcome, rather than raising the bar to malicious, which, people could say, well, I didn't intend it to be malicious. It's not malicious. But, if it's unwelcome or inappropriate to the recipient, then that would give the manager the right to ask the person to, cease and desist or vacate the premises.
Yeah, I can swap out that word, definitely.
Okay.
So this is potentially an action item if you wanted to vote to endorse the revised policy, or if you'd like me to bring it back at the next meeting with if there's any additional changes.
Yeah, I'm open to it coming back if there's any revised things, or I don't know.
Just so far, the one word
Yeah.
swap, yeah.
I don't, is it worthwhile to put something, whether it's on walls or suggested maybe outside, about something like service animals prohibited? I don't know if that's a big enough of an issue to make it pretty explicit. Because I do know people that feel that their emotional support animal, that they have a disability, but it's probably not a disability included under the ADA, right? Or it might just,
I'm sure that there's standard signs designed around this. I think I see them at places that sell food predominantly. But yeah, we can find out what the appropriate wording is for that, and we could post something.
Well, would there be some discretion on the part of the library manager to make such a determination whether or not an animal would be admissible if it didn't fit the explicit criteria here?
So the exception that we call out in the policy is, of course, because we do have a dog come in regularly as part of our Paws for Tails. It is a certified therapy dog that comes in with a trained volunteer, and the children read to the dog. And I will say, because I do work I'm stationed at the library that is in a park, sometimes people will come in, small dog in arms, get their hold, check out, and go. And we're not going to interfere with that. But we have had dogs come in unattended by their humans and bare their teeth at a staff person. And we just want to, it's a safety thing mainly.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, and it's true for, I think, for all of our facilities. So, but if we think that we need to have something posted, we can definitely do that.
I guess I was thinking of, I don't frequent the other libraries enough, but I know obviously there's the park at Serramonte, and I'm a dog lover, so I see everybody out there with their dogs, and
They are.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if people are just like, "Hey, I need to," whether it's going in to grab something or, "Oh, look, I saw this book, and now I want to go in and
Well,
Spot
and-
is with me."
Yeah, and we can always, if somebody wants to let us know that, if they need to pick out a hold or something like that, we can provide
Yeah.
at the door service or something like that. That's not a problem.
That
for
can be
us.
our new advertisement. Bring your dog, and we'll grab your books for you. Door-to-door service. Did anybody else have any other suggestions, comments?
I would be, subject to our approval, I'll move that we accept this with the revisions as presented, with the revised and approved copy to be brought back at the next meeting.
I will second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And our next item is the trustees report, the DCPLA Library Board collaboration on community-driven giving.
I actually brought some copies of the printed survey that we have launched. If any of you would like a copy to fill out the survey yourself or to share with friends and neighbors, I can report it's been a gradual start. We've received one online submission and a few, actually it was all from one branch, a few submissions on paper. So we're getting going. I also, a member of the DCPLA board volunteered to make a more catching graphic for us to be able to advertise a little bit better. So hopefully that'll help. We're going to put it out through social media and the usual channels. I was asked how long we intend to run because somebody was at a branch today wanting to fill it out and wanted to know what the deadline was. And so I had unofficially kind of said we'd probably run it through the end of the calendar year. But we can make a decision and actually post that is the deadline. I was sort of waiting to see how many submissions we were receiving.
Yeah, running it till the end of the year sounds like a good initial deadline to me. And then, as you've said, if we don't have sufficient submissions, we can do an extension, revise the graphics again, try and blast social media with it and,
Yeah.
generate more response.
Hopefully it's in a prominent location at all the libraries. I know people are seeing it at Westlake. It's right on the front counter at Ceremony.
Right. Yeah, I did notice it at Westlake. The only thing I was thinking was, it might be more attention grabbing if it said, "Would you like to give away $5,000?"
That's a good idea too. Yeah, like I said, I reached out to somebody. I'll see what graphic they come up with, and I can run it by the subcommittee that's working on that and see if you want to adjust that any further.
Or would you like $5,000 to donate to the library? Something along that line. Give the figure because that's impressive, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And DCPLA is going to be promoting it on their website as well.
Sheila, do we have a certified email version of this to share out?
Oh yes, I can email it.
And is this posted already on Facebook or Instagram yet?
Not yet. No, I was hoping for a better graphic. So it will be very shortly.
And I think they had it, if I'm correct, at the Top of the Hill Festival.
Yes, we had
DCPLA did.
Oh yeah, I gave them a bump up, yes. And the library table at Top of the Hill
okay.
also had. Yeah, we've taken it to all of the outreach so far, but it might not be the best approach only because people are very, it's a big event and
Yeah.
they're kind of engaged with that to sit down and quietly reflect on these questions might not be the spot.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it there. I was like, it's just too
much
chaotic
going
for
on,
me
yeah.
to think. But I think if it was on social media, and even if all of us and we put it on the library committee page, just to that we can spread awareness or tell others about it.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, we have it on our homepage, but we can also put it on the library board page.
Did I see a QR code somewhere?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Nice.
Super. We just ought to pass those out like,
Yeah.
$5 bills at top of the hill and let people take them home.
Oh, that's
People were more sidetracked by the sweatshirts.
the hoodie will get you every time. Except it was a little warm, so I'm not sure that I was even interested in.
Well, we
Entertaining that.
sold out of one design, so people were planning ahead.
And the next item we have is library funding.
So the committee working on that met a couple weeks back, and Dr. Lex made a special guest visit at the DCPLA, the last DCPLA board meeting. I don't know if you want to report out on how that discussion went.
Well, we talked about, the concept of a parcel tax for Daly City to support the libraries in the future. There was a good, I thought, give and take, good questions, and actually really good input from the newest DCPLA board member, who
Yeah.
is, I want to say, financial manager.
Yeah, Nathan Bassett. He's the administrative services director, I
Okay,
believe.
there we go. An ASD for the city of Colma, who has specific knowledge about parcel taxes and what can and can't be done. So he's been added to the subcommittee, and we'll meet with him in the future. I was kind of expecting and hoping that DCPLA would formally endorse this partnership, which didn't happen. But I think with participation, of
Nathan Bassett.
Nathan, yes, that we'll get to that point perhaps at the next meeting.
Yeah, yeah, it feels very much like it's you planted a seed and it's growing, sprouting. Maybe it's just sprouting right now.
So I think our target would be to put it on the ballot, assuming that everything falls in place, and that's a lot of assumptions for November 2026. Is that what you
Yeah,
heard?
yeah, that seemed like that was the goal.
Okay. We're still very much in the preliminary stage.
What are the next steps after? I mean, I know we're very early on, but is it like gaining signatures, gaining more support, or how does this, like the broadest overview of how you would say it works?
Okay. Well, my broadest overview, and Shayla, please, jump in, is that we determine what we can do and can't do in terms of a parcel tax. Is that the proper vehicle for what we want, which is ongoing additional support, secure support for the libraries? So that would be one. And then the other would be dealing with the consultant issue. And specifically funding a consultant to the tune of $30,000 or $40,000, and where that money would come from. Shayla, were you going to send a letter to the mayor, or that was going to come from?
So I believe
perhaps.
Clayton had started drafting one,
so-
and he might have needed to revise it after our last discussion. But yeah, he was starting a letter. Yeah.
Clayton is going to request a meeting with the mayor and the vice mayor with our subcommittee, so that we can present the concept and try and get some warm and fuzzy initial support without any commitments so that we can go forward with the council being aware and involved and, you know, if not supporting, not opposing. Do you
Yeah,
have
because
anything to
there's
add?
kind of two paths you can take. There's the citizen initiative where we would need to gather signatures, or if the council wanted to sponsor it, then they could put it on the ballot. But obviously, then we want to invite them in and see if they support it.
Is this similar to how I know I remember when I was at the Half Moon Bay Library and they got their whole new library and money was put into, I guess, South City. I don't know if it was the same, but is this how they did this with a parcel tax or,
They
Do you-
probably did a bond for that.
a bond measure?
Yeah.
And-
That's typical for more of a infrastructure type thing, one big project versus ongoing operational funding.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and the bond would, there would be an expectation of repayment. Whereas with the parcel tax, it would be an annual infusion of funds to the libraries. Based on, we're not sure yet what.
Yes.
But, some valuation of property within the city of Daly City, both business and private or residential.
Like a
Yeah, that
fixed-
makes sense. Thanks for the extra insight.
So that group will continue to meet and flesh out this concept.
That's great. And will we hear more from Clayton once he gets feedback?
I
Or-
believe that he will be our presenter on behalf of DCPLA at the next meeting. So
great.
he could also stay and speak to that perhaps.
Okay. And do we have any announcements or communications?
Well, I can announce that Ceremony Library is open and operating regular hours. Our temporary closure got extended, unfortunately, a little bit. We are still very much under construction. Currently, they just started what appears to be the project of putting solar panels on our roof, which is exciting. It was a day where you could really believe in solar energy. It was so sunny. And they've made some progress on the inside. It's not as visually striking as I had hoped it would be, but in the background, we have air managers. We have heating and cooling and air circulation, which is important for a building of that size, definitely. So it's currently operating on the upper floor only. But we wanted to make sure we were open as much as we possibly could be for patrons, of course. The staff areas are currently not accessible, but we hope maybe next week we'll be able to reoccupy those parts of the building. So it's moving along, and we're looking forward to not being under construction. But in the meanwhile, it's also going to be good to get new, as I said, new HVAC, new lights. So looking forward to getting closer to the end of this project.
Yeah, I was disappointed when I did show up to return some stuff, and not only was the parking lot super blocked off, I mean, the tennis courts area was open, but I was like, what? I can't return a book, but everything was roped off, so they wouldn't let me return stuff because I had to go over, I don't know if they were paving roads or there was just big machinery out there, so I couldn't even return stuff there.
Been there the day when the crane came.
Oh, could have been.
It was literally like just a few hours. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No,
That was
it's okay.
terrible.
I found another library to go. I probably went to John Daly or South City, wherever I could to return materials. But I was like,
Because we did keep the book drop open
Oh.
during the closure, but there was a day when there were cranes and they were lifting things, so they probably didn't want, for obvious reasons, want
it's
people
okay. I
walking
was
around.
probably getting paranoid that my stuff would
You
go
don't want to
overdue.
get dropped a giant HVAC unit on you.
Well, this will be nice.
Yeah,
I can't wait to check it out.
yeah, yeah. It's like I said, you won't be able to visually tell all of the progress that's been made quite yet, but if you give it a few weeks, hopefully you'll come in and the ceiling will have all the ceiling
Oh, I'll go
tiles
in and get plenty of recommendations.
There you
I
go.
have too much stuff from there,
Oh,
but
nice, nice.
your
Well,
librarians know my taste, so.
excellent.
And
And Project Read, is it the 32nd annual, I believe. Project Read Trivia Challenge is coming up. It's going to be on November 7th. It's the planning committee has been working really hard, and they're still looking for teams to compete. So yeah, definitely, if anyone knows anyone who would like to compete, and if any of you would like to attend, please do let me know.
I will definitely be there. Undetermined which team I'm on, or if I have my own team, but we'll be in touch for sure.
Excellent. Yes, it's a great cause. Project Read
Yeah.
provides a lot of services in Daly City as well as South City and San Bruno, and so it's nice to participate every year. I know, Bill, you go often.
Yeah, I was going to say, assume that I would like to attend, please. Thank you.
All right. Don't believe I have anything else other than ongoing. Please visit our calendar of events to see what programs we have coming up.
Yeah, Daly City has been pretty good. I don't know if you guys get the email. I feel like it's weekly now of everything going on in Daly City. I think Coleman might be captured too. But it's like that almost looks like a calendar, and it says everything, like all these really cool events, and it's like, oh, I didn't know half this was going on. Just Daly City. I think Colma sometimes has a couple things, but
Yeah, the Daily Wire.
I thought it was different than the Daily Wire. Maybe it is the Daily Wire.
Yeah, that is one of that you kind of
It's good
hit on the
communication.
challenge of making sure, yeah, trying to get out all of the information about what we have upcoming and the various ways that we try to do that. So the library also we have a monthly newsletter, so hopefully you're all signed up for that one.
If not, I better
not, I
add
will
that
sign you
right
up.
now. And the agenda building for next meeting. Does anybody have anything that they want on the agenda?
Well, I would suggest we continue the two items under trustees' report on our current agenda. And then maybe just approved behavior policy.
Yeah.
All right.
And it seems like that, and the meeting is adjourned at 6:42 p.m.
So moved.